Hello everyone, welcome back to Grand Theft Auto 5 once again. My name is jfavignano and today we're looking at the Airbus Beluga Mod. This airplane is based off of a Airbus A300 600 ST and it carries a fuselage of an airplane in it, and we can spawn that in with the components, and we'll do that here in a moment. Let's go down here and check out the model by Skyline GTR Freak. As always, a fantastic conversion from FSX, that's for sure. When you look at it, it kind of has the lowering of like an A320 style, but it is an A300 for the most part. And it's pretty much designed to take any kind of, load inside of it that would not normally be easy to put on like a regular cargo plane, you know what I mean? We're just the good old pilot. We're going to do our walk around here and check it out. This airplane comes with 3 different liveries. I will show you that. And you'll notice that the entrance to the airplane is a little bit different than you would think. You actually go in from this way right here, where the steps are, and that'll take you up there into the airplane itself, which is pretty cool. We'll check the onboard here in a second. Let's look at these engines. Some massive engines there, powered by GE. Gotta love it. There's the flaps that are down. Pretty much everything you would normally expect in a Skyline GTR Freak mod is right here. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. This is number 3. And like I said, it comes with 3 different liveries. So you have a modern one, you have this one, and you have the original one that came out when the airplane did. It's that old retro Airbus livery, which looks pretty cool. Very nice. Man, this guy's, his shoes clank around a little bit, don't they? Yeah, they do. Let's go up and check inside of the fuselage. I did pull it up here to where I could get to it, so I could jump over to it at least. And we can see how big the top end of this airplane is. It's pretty big, so we'll just go hop. Yeah. What are they yelling at over there? Don't worry about me. We're just checking out the airplane. So here we are inside. I mean, look, it's got a pretty good cavern in here. One thing that would be really cool is to transport cars in this. I'm not sure if the cargo plane mod will work or not with that. I'll have to look at that for something in the future for the most part. Sounds like an airplane was just starting up out there is what it sounded like. And there's an emergency hatch right there. If you had to get down to the cockpit, you could. You should jump over there and we'll head down to the airplane, get it fired up. We'll check out the liveries first. I have all of the doors open. To open up the doors and all that stuff, you would do it like you normally would with anything else. Let's hop up in this baby. There we go. And we are in it right now. I have the engines turned off so we don't have to hear them running. The engine sounds that were used in this are actually pretty nice. I don't think they're custom ones, but they sound really good, so that's pretty cool. So if we open up our simple trainer here, we can go to vehicle options. We can go to the vehicle doors and windows menu. This is where you can close all the vehicle doors there, and you can see how everything looks right like that. And we can also, we're just going to open all of them, and I'll show you. You just go to the vehicle, we go to the components menu here, and we can add an A300 piece in there. Well, supposed to be able to. Where you at? No? Don't want to do it? Okay, well, the components are broken, so whenever the airplane loads up, it has a fuselage in there. Don't turn off the components because you'll lose that, unfortunately. Let's check out the different liveries that come with this. There's the Beluga right there, number 1 on the back, and then there's that classic, the Super Transporter with the retro scheme, number 4. Looks pretty awesome. Pretty cool indeed. So let's fire this thing up and back it out and see how it flies. Let's go ahead and hit the engine on. There it goes, coming to life. And we're just gonna push back on out of here. There we go, like that. And step into the light out this way. We'll taxi over to runway 30 right, and we'll depart that way. I do have vehicle God mode on and stuff like that, so we don't have to worry so much about the hitting rocks and stuff at sandy shores and exploding right away. All right, that's pretty good right there. Let's check out the interior. Pretty much the interior of an A300 600. Looks no different inside. Very nice attentions to detail there. We have an altimeter there and a PFD. I don't know if that works or not. And yes, even though you don't see the yoke on this side, that side shows it. This is one of the only Airbuses, I think it is the only Airbus that actually has a yoke. Most Airbuses are controlled with a side stick with fly-by-wire systems. However, the A300 is old school and it flies kind of like a Boeing in some regards. All right, we'll taxi over to 30 right, and we'll be ready for our departure. You can see the little flaperons there. Pretty cool. We'll turn over this way and get lined up. This does have working lights if we turn those on, just like that. They're not very, very bright or anything like that, but they get the job done. Man, it's a bright morning here in Los Santos International Airport. Excited to get this thing in the air. Line it on up on the runway like that, Jack. There we go. And add that power. Let's go flying. Woo! Love that rumble. V1, rotate ever so slightly back. Oh yeah, and it takes a little bit. There it goes. Gear up. And we're flying. Okay, so the altimeter there does not work or anything like that. I don't even think there's a working PFD or, you know, artificial horizon that works in this airplane at all. So probably won't be checking out the interior view too much. Maybe on landing or something, but we're climbing out of Los Santos right now. We start our turn to the right. Let's kind of do a fly over the downtown area. This is an add-on airplane, so it's not a replacement. It's a DLC shell. So that means that I'm pretty sure it has its own handling line, because that thing took quite a bit of runway to get off the ground. So keep in mind when you're flying this thing, it's not going to bounce off the runway as fast as the default 747 style jet or any of the other ones. Speaking of which, look at all the air traffic here today. All the northern departures, and we're going to be swinging around this way. There's a little Learjet there. And we're going to go over to Sandy Shores. This time, I'm doing something a little bit different. We're going to line up this way. Normally, I would go off that way and then, you know, go around the Palomino Highlands. I'm not going to do that today, though, because now we're pretty much on a nice left downwind for the runway to Sandy Shores for the most part. Well, I hope y'all had a great weekend. A good Easter weekend for those of you that celebrate that with your family and stuff. Had a good time. Went over to my mom's on Saturday and we barbecued and hung out. And then we went out karaokeing that night. And then on Sunday, went to Nicole's stepmom's house. And it was a good time. A good time. Other than that, I've had a little bit of a stomach bug for the last few days. I just don't seem to be able to win, man. I was sick for that time, and now I have like a stomach bug for this. It has not been too much fun. However, I digress. Watch the movie Founder, which is got Michael Keaton in it, and it's pretty much the story of McDonald's. You know, the fast food restaurant we all know and love. Well, some of us. I haven't eaten there in forever. I think the only thing I ever eat there, if I do go there, is a breakfast. But I'm not one of those McDonald's haters like, do you eat at McDonald's? How dare you? Reminds me of the joke, the stand-up comedy of Jim Gaffigan and McDonald's. Hilarious. How people that don't eat McDonald's think they're above other people, I suppose. Oh, this is a cool looking airplane, man. Ugly as sin, I know. But one of a kind, that is for certain. You cannot deny it. We'll start our descent now. There we go. Just pitch that nose down a little bit there. And we'll start our initial descent into Sandy Shores. Want to make sure we have a lot of room for our approach in this airplane. I do. Just check out the inside of it. Very nice. It flies quite heavy and good. I like a good solid feeling airplane when you're flying something this big. But yeah, man, I mean, talk about morale, you know, watching that movie Founder, or The Founder. What he did to those McDonald brothers is just absolutely a crock of shit. Get the joke? Ray Kroc? But no, it was an absolute terrible thing. Like, wouldn't even give him a 1% royalty. Couldn't even do that. That's just straight up greed, man. But you know what? You can't take that money with you when you die. He died in, I believe, 1984. So he doesn't get to take that money with him. One of my pet peeves of flying in GTA 5 is the amount of wingtip vortices you get. I wish there was a mod to just remove those, you know? Because you only get those if you were pulling, you know, a high G or something like that, or, you know, the pressure was down to a certain point, and it was just the atmospheric conditions were right for the most part. All right, put our gear down. We're gonna start our final turn here. Whoa, man! Talk about bank angle. Bank angle. That's what that would have been. I've never landed this thing. I've never flown it before. I love doing these mods with you, so we can fly it together for the first time. This is a pretty good approach. I like flying over the power station here in Mount Gordo off there on our right there, looking beautiful. And Mount Chiliad and Josiah. Look at that. That looks amazing with the shadow of the Beluga. We're just gonna come right over this U-tool here. Be on a nice final approach here. I am gonna be landing on the inside view. I'll land on the outside view when we go back to Los Santos. How about that? This requires a little bit more finesse. I think that we'll be able to make this no problem, bringing this airplane into this airport. Because the A300 is pretty versatile. Doesn't have a huge wingspan, you know? Okay, short final now. Looks like I'm at neutral on the power. I haven't pulled it back. I'm gonna start pulling back a little bit here. Just barely clicking that in and out like that. And then I'm gonna kill it completely and bring that nose up. We're down, look at that. Nice, and then drive, yep. Drive, fly that nose wheel down. That's all there is to it. Well, that was pretty good. That was not bad at all. Not bad at all. Well, what I'll do on this next one is we're gonna turn around and we're gonna depart back towards the airport in Los Santos. And it'll be probably in the evening time, so we check out the night lighting of this airplane. And I'm gonna change the livery up on it. We'll go with the old retro super transporter skin. And I'm gonna spawn in another airplane. That way we can actually have the fuselage of that A300 in there to see, which will be pretty cool. I love the way this thing handles, man. I'm really, really liking it. It's a very enjoyable airplane to fly. Not gonna lie. I was not expecting that. Always been a fan of the A300. All right, the evening is upon us here in the Grand Sonora Desert. Let's check out this one. This is the older livery, and look, it's a Beluga party. We've got number 3 sitting over there where I parked from last time, and there's a Rottweiler just standing guard right over there. But here is what I was talking about with the extra. It is a fuselage, a forward fuselage of a A300 600 itself. Pretty cool stuff. So we're going to be transporting that thing all the way back to Los Santos. Should be a good time. Let's go ahead and hit vehicle options, doors. We're going to close all the doors here. Ba-boom. Don't need that anymore. And we can turn the engine on and get ready to get on out of here. There's the taxi light. And then we have landing lights out there on the side. And I love the light splash it does even on the side of the engine nacelle. Pretty cool stuff. Very nice attention to detail there. Interior has that real bright gauge stuff anyway, so I'm not worried about it. We're going to be landing on the outside view this time, so go full power and get on out of here. Gonna need a lot of runway on this one, man. Need a lot of runway on this. Looking good. Start pulling back. And on up we go. Not too bad. Gear up, since we have our positive rate. Continue climbing out like this. Looks really good. Start our turn here. And we're gonna go around this way. Because I want to get up to cruising altitude on this one. Should be really cool. Should be real nice. But yeah, back to the story of the founder, man. I just can't believe, you know, that somebody took somebody's, you know, idea, essentially. I mean, he was a genius when it came to franchising, you know, don't get me wrong, but just to leave the McDonald's brothers out in the cold like that. There's, I know there's two sides to every story, so don't get me wrong in there. Why does that look green out there? That looks like some paranormal shit happening. And look at that in the middle, like a break in the line of the cloud texture there. That's really weird. We're gonna go right over downtown Paleto Bay. And there's Mount Chiliad to our right. Keep climbing up, and we'll be at our cruising altitude in no time. There we go. It's a 747. Well, it's not an actual 747, but GTA 5's jet going underneath us there as he heads off to the east. Probably on his way to Liberty City, we could say. All right, there's the downtown Los Santos area there. We're gonna start our turn to the right, and we're gonna snake it down, and we're expect 1-2 left for the arrival. We'll say the wind's changed, just to change it up a little bit. We'll continue our descent. I was wondering what all that, you know, that bluish green stuff was off in the distance. It's the clouds. It's the fake clouds that pop up after a certain altitude in Grand Theft Auto. That's what we're seeing there. It kind of looks like that itself. I tell you what, when you have the speedometer at the top right, it really shows you just how slow these airplanes are in GTA 5. It's pretty crazy. We'll make a right turn, and we're gonna go right between those two peaks over there. We'll be on a left downwind for 1-2 left. Well, let's go ahead and do that now. There's the dam right there, and that's the Palomino Highlands. But we're gonna be over the Tongva area whenever we get ready to turn our base to final. There's a Ron alternate wind farm down below us. On the right is the prison, Bolingbroke Prison. And here is where the Vinewood sign is. That looks awesome from at this distance. There's the moon up there, full moon. As always. I wish there was phases of the moon in the game. I don't believe there is. That could be something I've absolutely overlooked, but I'm pretty sure there's no phases of the moon. Unfortunately for us. All right, pull up a little bit here. We'll level off as we are getting low. And we are on that left downwind for that runway. Well, we're kind of on a 45 intercept for the base leg, which we'll do right between here. So we'll turn to the left here. This thing looks like a whale from the back end, doesn't it? It really does. It looks cool, though. There we go. Use those flaperons. The super transporter. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go gear down, and we'll begin our left turn here now. And we're pretty much close to being back at Los Santos International Airport. There's an airplane below us there, a little Cessna. There is a mod out there that shows those airplanes on a screen. Remember I was talking about how it'd be cool to have a TCAS system? I saw that when I was getting this mod, but we'll probably have to add that in. It just shows them up on your mini-map, which is pretty cool. Alright, looking good there. We're just going to be an ever so slight turn to the left and line up on the runway. The component, you know, adding that fuselage of the airplane, it does not add weight to it at all. So keep that in mind. It'll fly just like it's empty for the most part. All right, we're looking good. We're right on that second line where we want to be for altitude for the glide slope. And we're turning final now. I'm gonna do a landing from the outside view. Now, when we landed in Sandy Shores, I cut the power completely on the before we hit the ground. This time, I'm gonna float it in, and then at the very last second, I'm gonna pull the power completely out. There's that little Cessna there. Right, yep, we're on a nice Final approach. Yep, the little 172's going off to our right. Little Mamatis. Which is funny because Mamatis is an actual type of cloud. That's where they got the name for that airplane. Mamatis clouds. They're the ones that they droop down like teardrops underneath the anvil of a thunderstorm. All right, short final now. Moving those flaperons around. I think we have a. Sound like we had a. Yeah. A simultaneous landing. Okay, yeah, that was a rough one. Oh, look at that. Parallel landing, too. Yeah, that's a rough landing because I'm telling you guys, I can't fly for shit on the outside view. I don't know how you guys can judge how high off the ground you are compared to, you know, that interior view where you can actually see. So I wasn't able to really judge that at all. I was pulling that power and I started to flare, but it was a firm landing, that's for sure. But I wanted to do that for the people that always complain about me landing in the first person. I got your back. I got the third person for you. There we go. Turning off this way. Let's go ahead and turn our taxi light on. Turn our landing lights off. And we can taxi straight on in. Oh, somebody had to park a tug right there in the way. Of course. We'll get around him, though. We'll just put that engine right behind him and bring that wing right over the top of him. Yeah, that'll clear it. No problem. Just like that. Not bad at all. We're going to put it right where we had it originally. Turn the lights off. There we go. Further in. And we can start that turn now to the right. It's hard to see in here a little bit. There we go. Lined up nicely. A bit more to the right. There we go, like that. Try to get a better view here, a little bit closer. Oh, that looks awesome, like that. Okay. Bring it all the way up to the line. Bam, perfect. Cannot complain about that at all. Let's go to vehicle options, engines off, doors. Let's go ahead and open them all. We made it in one piece. How about that? That is a pretty cool mod. Pretty nice. Flies like a dream, too. I'm very, very impressed with it. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this mod showcase of the A300-600 ST Beluga. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.